All right. We're back again.
We back.
We're back. We're on Twitch and YouTube now.
Let's go. We're live.
James fan ended the live, but
Now I'm gonna get views.
Maybe. So really, I just helped you out in the end if you get views by ending it.
No, because you don't know. I could have got like 10,000 viewers on YouTube, but you didn't let it go long enough to know.
I think so, Trevor.
here you go. Let's get a
How do I see my? Oh.
0-0. We're getting a bit of a third-person view. Hey, here, watch. You're a game character. Hey, no budge challenge. No budge challenge. No budge challenge live at Nova High. Let's go. Back to oh, shoot. Sorry, bad angle. My bad. Oh, here, take your shot. I need to fill my water. Miss Bono, can I fill my water, please? Yeah. Thank you.
Good morning, Miss Bunnell.
How are you, Trevor?
Good. You look fabulous. Our sweatshirt should be done tomorrow.
Sweet.
You just we're in my YouTube live. Smiling.
Oh, hello. You're live again. Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, how about we getting on seats, yeah?
Yeah. Dude. Carlos. Go look at my live. Yeah.
Trevor, how do I find it?
Travelator
Okay. Guys, it is at our school
Dude, It 4 coming out.
in Melbourne.
We're making the movie this time. Yeah, but I'm on Twitch this time too.
Hey, watch this dance.
Here, let me get.
TikTok. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, it's here.
Georgie. Georgie.
It's like in the toes.
Can I see?
It's like kind of like that though. Like you go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll check.
Just look on YouTube. This needs to be pushed on.
Look, I got enough. Okay, yeah.
Guys, turn noties on.
Let me see. There it is.
Are you watching my live?
Is that like kind of it? It's one. But it's clean. That's not it, but it's clean. It's a good spot. Double. During team, man. I gotta eat like during I gotta I have 8 wings. Here.
Easy. Carlos.
Here.
Jack. Johnny.
Here.
Diego.
Here.
Seth.
Here.
Brandon. Here. Austin.
Here.
Evan.
Here.
Dallas.
Here.
Trevor. Remington.
Here. I'm here, Miss Funnel.
Sylvan.
Here.
Weston.
Here.
Cameron.
Here.
Nate.
Here.
Noah.
Here.
Megan.
Baby slide. It's hard. Dude, I think I could do that. I know the person exists. It always goes in circles. It's all in the toes, what really sad.
Alright, gentlemen, have a seat.
I just did it.
Okay, today we're going to start our constitutional project. This is your opportunity to teach and not have to listen to me all the time, right? I'm sure it'll be nice to have a reprieve and not have to deal with hearing me all the time. Okay, I'll explain it after Unit 10. Anything going on journals, by the way, some of you did not turn them in, so it's a 0. You give them one chance. Another thing is I noticed a lot of you are not doing 3 full sentences. So if you don't write 3 full sentences, like I don't know, does not count, then you're only getting 1 point. So that's 50%. That's an F. So make sure you're writing 3 sentences, okay? Any question? Oh, another thing is, sign up for this. This is due November 30th. Every single one of you can get $8,000 for something going towards a career. It's not just college. It's everything. I mean, if you want your CDL, if you want to get your cosmetology degree. Yeah, I think that's, I would scan it and take pictures. Anything else going on? Good job, boys, this weekend. Winning?
Yeah, I'll just go.
Nothing like it. It's okay.
Carter was our QB one.
Yeah, because that sucks.
Very good.
Hello and welcome to CNN 10. It's Monday, October 9th. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. I'm Boy Wire, and we start with news that broke over the weekend on Saturday, marking a dark day in the history of Israel. The Islamist militant group Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel.
This might be a war that we might get involved in.
Firing thousands of rockets from the Gaza Strip into neighboring Israel. The militants then entered into Israel, broke into homes, and tried to capture dozens of Israelis. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel is now at war with Hamas after this deadly and unprecedented surprise hit. Israel Defense Forces, or IDF, responded with their own airstrikes targeting Hamas inside the Gaza Strip. Hundreds on both sides of the conflict have died from the attack. Thousands more have been injured, but those numbers continue to rise. The Gaza Strip is an area that's only about 25 miles long along the Mediterranean Sea. It's surrounded by Egypt to its west and Israel to its east. It has been hotly disputed for decades. Hamas is now in control of the territory, but Israel controls most of the access to and from the Gaza Strip. Before we continue with more on this latest conflict, CNN's Nick Robertson explains the history of Gaza and the tensions in this region.
Gaza is only about 25 miles long and 7 miles wide, but this small strip of land is one of the most fought over in history. It was an Egyptian base, a raw city of the Philistines, and the place where the Hebrew hero Samson, betrayed by Delilah, met his death. Since then, much blood has been spilled. The most recent contest for Gaza began at the end of World War II, when persecuted Jews traveled to Israel from Europe looking for a new start after the horrors of the Holocaust. In 1947, the UN created a plan to split Israel into 2 countries, one for Jews and one for the Arab people. Backed by the US President Harry S. Truman, David Ben-Gurion, Israel's founder, proclaimed the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948. Egypt then attacked Israel through the Gaza Strip. Israel was victorious, but Gaza remained under the control of Egypt, and an influx of Palestinian refugees began. In 1967, war broke out between Israel, Egypt, Jordan, and Syria in what became known as the Six-Day War. Israel seized the Gaza Strip and held it for about 40 years. In 2006, Hamas, a group sworn to destroy Israel and listed by the United States, European Union, and others, as a terrorist group, won a landslide victory in Palestinian legislative elections. And Israel unilaterally pulled its forces out of Gaza that year. Hamas was now in control of the territory. However, Israel still controls much of the area's access to and from the Gaza Strip. Since then, Israel and Hamas have been exchanging blows. Israel maintains Hamas is a violent terror organization, while Hamas says they represent an oppressed people being victimized by the Jewish state. the international community continues to press for a cease in violence. But for now, the Strip's population of 1.8 million people are trapped in the crossfire.
This surprise attack on Israel over the weekend came 50 years and 1 day since another attack known as the Yom Kippur War. Israel has since spent billions to create one of the world's most formidable security systems. But in this case, the Israeli government appeared to be caught off guard, and the moment is seen as a massive intelligence failure. So why this most recent attack? Hamas says the assault on Israel was in part to defend the holy site, the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, in response to what they claim are attacks on it and the desecration of it, as well as, they say, an ongoing siege of Gaza. The holy site compound is one of the most revered places in Islam and Judaism. The sacred grounds known to Muslims as Noble Sanctuary and to Jews as the Temple Mount have been a flashpoint of tensions between Israel and the Palestinians for decades. Clashes have frequently broken out at the site between Palestinian worshippers and Israeli forces. Police raided the compound several times over the last year. Violence has been particularly heightened this year. The number of Palestinians, both militants and civilians, killed in the West Bank by Israeli forces is at its highest in nearly 2 decades. Let's go now to CNN's Tom Foreman to better understand how Hamas forces attacked Israel this past weekend.
This extraordinary series of attacks began at 6:30 in the morning when Israel was asleep with this massive barrage of rockets flowing out of Gaza. Note that this would be the level at which their most rudimentary rockets would hit, about 6 miles or so. Then you reach out to maybe 25 miles, and their most advanced rockets, the ones that would most seem to rely probably on some technology beyond them, Iran, as many intelligence people would say, would reach up here to Tel Aviv. That's about 45 miles from here. Whatever the placement of them was, there were an awful lot of them. We don't have an exact count, but it appears to be in the thousands. That would matter because that would make it easier to overwhelm Israel's missile defense system, the Iron Dome system, and make sure that some got through, even if many were stopped. More importantly, by doing this, all indications are that laid the groundwork for what came next. At 7:40, an hour and 10 minutes later, that's when armed soldiers, fighters, started coming out of Gaza into Israel, some by knocking down walls and barriers here, some coming in by air with powered parachutes, some by boats going around here. This was something, again, that indicated it was a very planned attack.
In the early hours of Saturday, Israelis woke to a sudden assault from Gaza militants. The surprise attack, claimed by the Palestinian militant group Hamas, a complex and massive operation marking a steep escalation of hostilities. The attack began with a huge barrage of missiles fired from Gaza, thousands of rockets, some making direct hits on targets across southern Israel. Under the cover of the missiles, a large-scale infiltration began as Hamas militants crossed by land, sea and air, even using paragliders to cross into Israel. Videos from border crossing stations show Hamas fighters storming into Israeli territory. A few miles away in the border town of Sderot, Hamas was seen driving and opening fire at civilians. The gunmen tore through the streets, leaving a trail of casualties behind. The full extent of the casualties is unclear, but hundreds have been killed and more than 1,000 injured on both sides. During the raid, some fighters also took Israelis as hostages. Israel quickly retaliated, hitting multiple targets along the Gaza Strip. In Gaza City, 2 high-rise buildings collapsed after an airstrike. The unrest continuing late into the night, with both sides trading rocket fire. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been unwavering in his message that Israel is at war with Hamas.
So what happens next? For his part, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed that his country will, quote, take mighty vengeance. And the Israeli Security Cabinet has officially declared a state of war. But Israel is not only keeping a close eye on the Gaza Strip, but also to others in the Middle East region, which includes one of its chief rivals, Iran. Iran has already sent congratulatory remarks on this attack and support for Hamas. Another nation in the Middle East that could be seen as a key factor in bringing possible mediation between Hamas and Israel is Qatar. Qatar, which is a backer of Hamas, released this statement saying, quote, "The Ministry of Foreign Affairs held Israel solely responsible for the ongoing escalation due to its continuous violations of the rights of the Palestinian people. Many countries have condemned this current attack as an act of terror. Hamas has over the years claimed many attacks on Israel and has been designated as a terrorist organization by the United States, the European Union, and Israel. On Saturday, President Biden said his administration's support of Israel's security is, quote, rock solid and unwavering, and that Israel has the right to defend itself and its people. Big questions now remain, and CNN is closely monitoring the situation and the responses from those involved in the region and around the world. We'll keep you posted right here with continued coverage as events unfold. That's all for today. We hope you have a strong start to your week, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Heavy news day. Yeah, but pay attention to that word.
Seth, let's get off Stumble Guys. Let's get off Stumble Guys. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pass out the instructions for this assignment. Yeah. If you haven't turned in your journals, but you're supposed to keep them in the box, put it on my desk because I'm not going to go through the journal box. Alright, so this is a big, alright, I'm an individual project, however, 14 presentation, and I will tell you who those are in just a second. It will be about the articles and the amendment and the preamble, so all three of them. I'm trying to get you a pocket constitution so that you can keep it wherever you go. So hopefully I can get that printed and get our copies because it's pretty awesome to have. Minimum 5 minutes, and you're going, wait, that's long. It's not. Most, if not all, my students go over because there's so much information you have to cover. So you can do whatever you want. You can do it. I had one kid do a craft. He created a raft.
5-minute rap.
Well, it was 3 minutes, and then he explained it. So he recorded it on. It was pretty awesome. He recorded it and put it on YouTube, and then he played it to the class. So it was pretty cool. I've had kids do an act, like they played out a play. Most of these have been in Cuba. I haven't had too many of you flash or anything to this.
I'll do rap.
You can do a PowerPoint. You can do a board. Whatever you think is going to be easy. You can turn in or have an assignment for kids because you're teaching us, right?
Don't do that, Abby, please. I'm going to give you guys an essay question.
Okay, you can do, write a poem, a graph, whatever. You can add multiple things. You can sing, you can, whatever you feel like. You want to do a have one sing a song with a guitar. You're pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. The thing
That is up to you. Some of you are like, no. Some of you are like, yeah. Whatever you, the way you learn. You can have, get up and do activities, whatever. What you want to do. Okay, now the thing is, if you put a video in it, it can only be 2 minutes or less. Okay, it can't take you the whole 5 minutes with a video.
What's name?
So if you want to, you can put a 5-minute video in it, but I'm only going to count 2 minutes of it, okay?
Oh, it's not.
And I do time it. Okay, you do need to write this down. I did not add it in here, and I don't know why. Led up to it. Like number 3 amendment, quartering troops. Great Britain was taking over houses all over the colonies and using their troops for their homes. So that's the history of it. And then you're going to do what is the intent of the article and amendment. We have a tendency today to say, well, the Constitution says this. Well, you need to know what it truly meant when they wrote it, because that's what we follow the law. So, what is the intent of it when it was created? We do not have freedom of expression in our First Amendment, which most people say, well, it's covered under our First Amendment. You need to explain that. It's not under our First Amendment. It's freedom of speech, and so people think it is. So you need to clear up all those fallacies. Plus, the last part of it, how is it applicable to us today? How does it apply to us today? Do we have troops quartering in our homes? Do we have them staying in our homes? No. So it protects us from the military having an overflow and taking over homes that are in the area. Or if anything ever happened, maybe the National Guard needs to train somewhere. They don't come and take over Cutter's Farm. So make sure that's applicable to us today. All right. Breakdown. So the back of this, I want you to know what I grade. I will have this out while you're presenting, and this is what I use. So you don't need to worry about this or anything. This is just for your information. Okay. This is my rubric. I get going too many kids, and after a while, one kid is just getting worse. So I always have a rubric when I grade. I always make sure that I keep clear mind. So if you want to know how am I going to get an A, how am I going to get 200 points, here it is. Now the other thing is, it's our first grade on our second quarter. So keep that in mind too. Okay. If you do it, and you do it like you're supposed to, it's an easy A. If you mess around, the other thing is if you mess around in class, you get points docked. I'm not going to warn you, I'm just going to start docking. Last class period, I said the same thing, and I had a bunch of girls just talking about what they're going to dress up in Halloween. All of them got points docked. Okay? Every day it's 5 to 10 points. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you.
Liza, Ella.
I don't have one. Oh my gosh, who cares, right? Just talk about what
I care.
government is. Okay? Now the next part.
I care. What do you think about that?
Next part. Oh, let me grab my groups. So there's a few of you in here.
Dude.
Okay, these are a few groups that are going to be put together. And everybody gets to work in twos. But this class is a bigger class, so I have to break them up into a few more. So Weston and Nate, you're going to be working together. So Weston, come over here and sit by Nate. Carlos and Sylvan.
It's a stream prop. No, it's mine.
Jack and Ram. Megan and Mylin. Jack and, Johnny and Max. We think you two can fit.
Copy my bad.
Trevor and Evan are going to be in a group.
Yeah. Evan, come here. Evan, come here. Got my boy. Cameron and Diego are not together. I'm just kidding.
Alright. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a number. You're going to draw out of the cup. That doesn't mean you're the number of players. That just means you're going to be the first one to pick which one
Look
you want.
overview.
What? Who is it?
I don't know.
You can't see?
Lunja. Look, I got a viewer, Sylvan. I got a viewer on Twitch, my boy. Austin's eating sushi right now.
Please give me a piece or what? Sushi is so good.
Show Austin, show the chat, Austin.
I'll give you $5. I'll give you $5.
Mike,
My boy's eating sushi over here.
I'll give you $1 tomorrow after we pull that over.
who you're partnered with.
Alright, who's drawing? Who's drawing? Who's drawing?
It was our job. It was the.
Let me do again,
They did really bad this year. Everybody had all the bad ones. Oh, you guys are
We're a
together.
group.
Hey, we got 12.
Yo,
The 12th Amendment right here.
Miss Bono, you're in the live stream.
Are you in my class? Shut that off.
Why?
Because actually it's against for fun.
Yeah, it's against what?
It's against the law.
You told me to do it.
It's actually against the law.
What is?
Chat, should we report
Wait, what's against the law? What's against the law?
Life? Did you end it yet? Chat, Trevor's going to jail. Bye.